Hello my friends, I have a few builds for you to get you through your first raids of this wipe. I wanted to give you builds that you can also use as you're leveling up and getting to the higher level traders. But since we are all starting out at level 1, let's get to the very first one, which is the OP-SKS. SKS is one of the best early wipe guns in my opinion. It is really cheap and it can deal a lot of damage and certainly should not have any problems killing everything with one shot if you manage to land that headshot. So without further ado, let's get to building the SKS.
Hey man, what the fuck are you? You had what? Two players, Graneta. What the fuck?
Are you nuts? What the hell?
Shut the fucking idiot. Come on, baby. I am ready. Okay? Shut the fucking idiot. Come on, baby. I am ready. Okay?
Fortunately, building the SKS is extremely easy. It's one of the easiest guns you can build early wipe. You can buy it from Jaeger Level 1, as you can see, for 33,000 rubles. On top of that, from Jaeger Level 1 as well, we can add the Kobra mount, which is 5,500 rubles. This allows us to buy the micro standard mount from Peacekeeper Level 1 for 20 USD. And then my preferred site, obviously, is the micro H2 site. Some of you may know, some of you may not, but it's 179 USD from Peacekeeper Level 1. But like I said before, in every single build I do, this is completely personal preference. If you have something cool from a raid, like you can use a hollow sight on this, you can use whatever you want. Just use what you prefer, obviously. Alternatively, if you want to go long range and you don't have anything, you can go with the PSO1 from Prapor Level 1 for 19,000 rubles. It's around the same price as you would pay for the mount and the H2 itself. And then to finish it off, instead of playing the 10 rounder, we are gonna switch to the 20 rounder magazine from Peacekeeper Level 1 as well for 65 USD. And the total cost of the build is around 70,000 rubles, as you can see right here. I need to switch to the traders only right here because most of you are not gonna have the access to flea market, obviously, from level 1. But as you can see right here, 40,000 to build the extra stuff on top, and with the gun itself, it's around 70,000 rubles. One thing I highly recommend doing is get yourself an extra magazine, as you can reload the whole mag. You don't have to reload it off the top. Let me see where it is. Level 1. I don't have the USD for this. That's, yep. Let me buy some USD. I just spent all my money on USD. Worth it. But as you can see, from level 1, you can buy the extra magazine, for example. And if you don't want to reload off the top, you can reload the whole mag by itself. So that is going to save you a whole bunch of time. So as you can see right here, let's go into the hideout. If I shoot a couple times, I don't have a mag in my rig right now. It reloads off the top, no problem. But if I were to go back and put the mag in here, shoot a couple times, as you can see, reloading the mag by itself is obviously much faster, so I highly recommend having at least one extra mag with you. And let's move on to the next build. The AK74u is gonna be our next build. I am moving on from just using level 1 traders though, as you can really build a solid gun for just around 100,000 rubles and using both level 1 and 2 traders. And the very first thing we obviously need is the AK74u. You can get that from Prapor Level 1. It costs you 24,000 rubles. And the first thing we're going to change is to the B11 Handguard. This allows us to add tactical devices and a foregrip. And when it comes to the foregrip, we have to go with the RK6, as it is available from Skier Level 1 for 7,000 rubles. I don't know if I mentioned, but the B11 is 6,000 rubles from Skier Level 1. And after that, we are going to change to the DTK1 muzzle device or muzzle brake for just 5,000 rubles from Skier Level 2. After that, this is optional, completely personal preference, and that is your tactical device. My go-to is the X400 tactical flashlight from Peacekeeper Level 2. It only costs 91 USD, but you do need Peacekeeper Level 2, so you either have it or you don't, but you can also use whatever you want. Like I said, personal preference, you don't have to use what I use. And we're gonna move on to the stock. We're gonna change to the Zenny PT lock from Skier Level 2 for just 4,000 rubles. Which allows us to add the Classica stock, which is the PT1 from Skier Level 2 as well for 13,000 rubles. So the stock total combined is 17,000 rubles. And to finish off the build, we obviously need a sight on it. To be honest, you can use iron sights. It's not that bad, but I prefer a sight on my guns, so we do need the B18 mount on top of the dust cover here. My personal preference is always the XPS 30, as you guys know. And this is the full build. As you can see, 49 vertical recoil, 199 horizontal, and 63 ergo. It is a absolute unit of a gun. And as you see, if we go to the traders, it cost us an extra 80,000 rubles. So the total build is around 105,000-ish rubles. And obviously, if you can get some stuff cheaper on the flea market, that's awesome as well. I highly recommend you guys at least giving this a go. I used to hate the AK74us, but this is a amazing weapon now after the recoil changes last wipe. And obviously, you do need to complete Punisher 3 at some point. So give this a go and let me know how it works. Our final build is the good old Adar, often overlooked by the player base. To be honest, it's one of those guns that I almost never use in the late wipe, for example, but it is an absolute gem in the early wipe. This is usually my go-to for completing Wet Shop Part 1, which is kill 10 scavs with either M4, Adar, or TX15. Unfortunately for us, BSG made the M856A1 available from just Peacekeeper level 2 this wipe, which means you can basically get one of the best ammunitions from level 14. So if you want to click some heads and do some damage, then this build is for you. Just make sure you have a good stack of M856A1 available for you, so you can go and cause some real damage out there. Let's get to the build.
Fuck you, you fuck! Like a butter.
And to get started, we have to buy the Adar from Skier level 2 for 45,000 rubles. It is pretty pricey, but it's well worth it, trust me. And the very first thing we have to do is remove the wooden stock from it, so we can add a pistol grip and a stock to it. And our choice of stock is the DS150 for 64 USD from Peacekeeper level 2. After that, we're gonna add the A2 pistol grip for 10 USD from Peacekeeper level 1. Full disclosure, I went just cheap on that one. You don't really have to find the best in slot pistol grip for this build. So this is a spot where we save some money. We're going to move on to the Handguard, which is going to be the Mo SL from Skier level 2 for 13,000 rubles, which allows us to add the 4.1-inch rail to it from Mechanic level 1 for just 1,700 rubles. We're going to go with the RK Foregrip for this one for 9,000 rubles from Skier level 2. And now the next thing is pretty much optional. If you want to go silenced, which I prefer, I go with a silenced Adar almost every single time. You can go with the Rotor 43 muzzle brake. This costs you 50,000 rubles on the flea market, roughly. Obviously, the prices change, so keep that in mind. But if you want to go a little bit cheaper, if you want to bring the price down, then you can go with the ZK23 muzzle brake. This only costs around 10 to 15,000 rubles on flea markets, or looks like it's 20,000 rubles right now. It was 10,000 rubles like 5 minutes ago. But just keep it in mind that this is a cheaper variant, so obviously the prices are going to vary for this one as well. Now, scope is the one thing that I don't want to cheap out on, especially if I'm doing wet shop, because that usually means that I'm going to kill scavs from range. So my go-to for this one is going to be the hammer, which on the flea market is around 35,000 rubles. Let's see if that's hiked as well. No, still 35,000-ish. It can go lower, it can go higher, so it is what it is. And on top of that, we're going to add the Delta Point Reflex Sight from Peacekeeper level 2 for 147 USD. But once again, sights are always completely optional, so just go with whatever you want. If you have something cool on you, then of course use that instead. And to finish off the build, we can add a tactical device as well. We're going to add the M-Lock 2.5-inch rail from Mechanic level 1 for 3,300 rubles. And my preferred one, as you guys know already, X400 from Peacekeeper level 2 for 91 USD. That's my preferred one. Obviously, you're going to have the mag on top of it as well. Go with whatever you want. Hello again, my friends. This is Flynn from the future. I forgot to change the gas block on this. I highly recommend you change it to the MK12 gas block from Peacekeeper level 2 for 47 USD as well. This removes this ugly sight from your field of view when you're looking down the sight, so definitely change that as well. Don't forget it like I did. And to build this thing, it costs you around 200,000 rubles total. Right now it's 143 plus the 45,000 on top, so let's round it out to 190. But like I said, the prices vary on the flea market quite a bit. Right now this is 30,000, later it's going to be 35,000, and this is going to be 55,000. So just keep that in mind. If you purchase stuff from flea market, it's going to vary quite a bit. But let's round it out to 200,000 for the silence build. And if you go with the ZK23 instead of the rotor, you should bring it down to like 170-ish thousand rubles. Now this is the full build right here. It looks hella dope in my opinion. Obviously you are going to change the mag, which is going to increase the cost even further, but I have a ton of mags laying around in my stash that I get from raids, so I don't really bother with the magazines too much. But that's the build, my friends. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you wouldn't mind, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed before, I would greatly appreciate it if you did. And I'll catch you in the next one, my friends. Take care.